Physics tells us sound travels slower in the cold. But fans tell us the cold isn't stopping them from traveling to and tailgating outside of Soldier Field.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be here.
This is the coldest game that I've been to.
Did you guys forget the fight song, or is your mouth not able to move because of the cold?
Right now.
Okay.
It's too cold. By far the coldest.
How cold? We'll show you when we check back in on this damp CBS 2 Polo in about 30 minutes. But it is frigid enough that freshly opened beer that would normally foam at the top of a bottle instead becomes slushy suds. So cold, dip for chips seems more like solid bricks.
We have frozen guacamole and hummus.
The shrimp was frozen, then thawed, and now refrozen.
So it's refrozen shrimp.
Cocktail.
That sounds terrible.
It is.
We can't eat or drink because everything is frozen.
The food failures are a reminder of the dangers the cold and wind pose to fans. Fear of frostbite and worse forces tens of thousands to shore up socks, fortify their faces, and bundle up other places.
Got the skivvies, got the Under Armour,
How many layers you wearing?
3.
got another sweatshirt over that, got my jersey on underneath that.
Is this worth the game?
Yeah, the Packers, yes. Absolutely.
This is what it's about. Gloves, hand warmers, and your best buddy in the world.
Outside of Soldier Field, and now waving the blue CBS 2 flag of weather surrender. Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News.
Today is Back to the Future Day, the exact date the characters from the 1989 sequel time travel to. That movie predicts the Cubs would win it all this year. And now it's time to meet a fan who's taken that forecast from the past to the present. CBS 2's Jeremy Ross has more in this original report on a man who's engineering hope.
In the outer outfields of a ballpark built on history, a kind of Cubs throwback rounds the grounds of the friendly confines.
It's a car to be seen.
This is really cool.
What's it doing here?
Yeah, I'm back in the 80s.
They point, they pull the cameras out.
Pretty cool.
I'm a huge Back to the Future fan.
The pilot of his 1981 DeLorean is Tom Sidor.
I'm the official time machine operator. So in 1985, when the movie came out, I had to have a DeLorean.
I had no idea the car was still in existence.
It speaks to something more important, and that is a Cubs victory.
That past Back to the Future 2 script hit Chicago winning it all in the present.
We're here.
And over the past 4 months, the team's play motivated this engineer by day to work hundreds of hours, day and night.
Because there's a lot of parts to it, and you got to make sure they fit well. This is a Menard special. Mr. Fusion is purchased a la Amazon.com. Harnesses the energy from the flux field in the front to the flux capacitor. Do that, you get your 1.21 gigawatts, you're good to go. This thing is not a monster. It's got 130 horsepower.
But what it lacks in go, it makes up for in show, turning heads and even snouts.
A lot of smiles on people's faces, that's for sure.
The number-focused engineer calls the movie's prediction mere coincidence.
This is wild.
Others wonder if it's where good fortune and good timing finally intersect on the north side.
Fate, time, destiny. It is it. It is meeting.
Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News. This story doesn't start with a gush of news. It begins with a drip.
It's because you see it's still running.
It continues with concerns about a fall or a slip.
Sliding on the ice. Duct tape.
They wrapped the raincoat around, then they got the duct tape and wrapped the duct tape around trying to stop it from leaking.
Not sure what that is.
And it's still leaking.
Broken for months and months.
Somewhere underneath the makeshift Band-Aid for a leak, you'll see the fire hydrant in 43rd and Champlain. This tale of the tape extends to downtown as well. Pictures show now fixed hydrants in Wabash and another bagged and taped on State.
You don't take nothing like that up. You fix that.
If your house is on fire, do you depend on that hydrant?
Oh, no, man.
Well, if they had seen the tape and plastic on it, they would have immediately gone to the next hydrant.
Gary Litherland of the Department of Water says firefighters would instead go to a hydrant less than 300 feet away. He calls the tape jobs something neighbors did. Our call to his office fixed the problem, and he's calling on neighbors to alert the city so future leaks don't linger.
We try to get to them all within 24 hours.
If you see a fire hydrant in the city of Chicago that needs service, the city is reminding you this evening to call 311 or visit their website and fill out a report. He is arguably the best player in the NBA, the best player on the planet. His Twitter handle is @KingJames, but for a few minutes this evening, some would argue he was King Cub. You could feel the anticipation around the United Center. You ready for LeBron's new gear?
I am. Y'all ready? To say the least.
It was seen on Dwayne Wade's face. You're excited. A show of sportsmanship Clark the Cub wouldn't miss.
It looked good. It looked good.
250 pounds of humble pie walked into the UC dressed in Cubby blue. Cleveland's LeBron James was joined by his former teammate, Dwayne Wade. James, an Ohio native, lost a wager with Wade. The Chicago Cubs beat Cleveland to win the World Series. As a result, James wore the Northside uniform into Friday's game.
Maybe get a big grin on my face.
What'd you think about LeBron's jersey? That's a long pause.
I mean, it looks good.
Ron, do you know the lyrics to Go Cubs Go?
It's all in good fun, and he and Dwayne obviously have an unbelievable relationship.
As a Cleveland fan, it makes your skin crawl.
Oh, absolutely.
What happens to the jersey after tonight?
I can't even hear that. My music playing. I only can hear Wade, by the way.
Cleveland fans describe this as a walk of shame, but the man Sports Illustrated called the Sportsman of the Year looked more like the Good Sport of the Year.
Put a wager on the line. You got to honor that, so I respect him for that.
And again, James telling us that he would give that jersey away. We did reach out to the Cleveland Cavaliers to find out who he would give it to. No word back from them, at least at this point in time. Live outside United Center, Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News.
Hey, Jeremy, don't you love it when you shout questions at somebody and they actually answer back? Pretty special.
It's wonderful. And by the way, I don't think the jersey would fit me.
No, it might be just a little big.
This story doesn't start with a gush of news. It begins with a drip.
It's because you see it's still running.
It continues with concerns about a fall or a slip.
Sliding on the ice. Duct tape. They wrapped the raincoat around, then they got the duct tape and wrapped the duct tape around trying to stop it from leaking. Not sure what that is. And it's still leaking. Broken for months and months.
Somewhere underneath the makeshift Band-Aid for a leak, you'll see the fire hydrant in 43rd and Champlain. This tale of the tape extends to downtown as well. Pictures show now fixed hydrants in Wabash and another bagged and taped on State.
You don't take nothing like that up. You fix that.
If your house is on fire, do you depend on that hydrant?
Oh, no, man.
Well, if they had seen the tape and plastic on it, they would have immediately gone to the next hydrant.
Gary Litherland of the Department of Water says firefighters would instead go to a hydrant less than 300 feet away. He calls the tape jobs something neighbors did. Our call to his office fixed the problem, and he's calling on neighbors to alert the city so future leaks don't linger.
We try to get to them all within 24 hours.
If you see a fire hydrant in the city of Chicago that needs service, the city is reminding you this evening to call 311 or visit their website and fill out a report. It sounds like a Jennifer Hudson concert.
I dream big.
It feels like a performance by Common, but it's not.
Kids want to help. One heart with courage is a majority.
We Day is because kids are giving back.
We Day is a patchwork of corporately supported stories and songs stitched together by threads of inspiration.
I've gone on to overcome bullying, graduate from college.
Kids from more than 600 schools from across Illinois took part in the event, embraced by stars like Jennifer Hudson.
You don't have a Hudson hug for me?
Of course I have a Hudson hug for you. Come here. It may be co-hosted by Selena Gomez, but we co-produced her hair. You have a little thing in your hair there.
Grab it.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
I want to make sure. Okay.
You can add hair and makeup to your resume.
Students attended free, but had to take part in acts of service like fundraising for foreign developing communities to helping out at a food pantry.
It makes me want to volunteer to say things, to do things, and to make changes.
You think the feeling you have will last a year, 2 years?
This will last for a lifetime.
Can I get a Hudson hug?
Sure. Let's
bring it in. Bring it in.
Hudson hug.
Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News.
Jeremy had a pretty good me day on We Day, didn't he? No doubt.
That's a great point.